All right, folks. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're talking about Styxhexenhammer666 AKA Tarl Warick being found guilty of domestic abuse battery in New Orleans. Now, you may remember uh, late September, early October of 2024, last year, Styx was arrested and taken into custody for an apparent battery situation. We didn't have a lot of details initially on that, but now we have a little bit more information from Styx himself. Now, earlier today on X, Styx posted, "Ha ha ha! I am now a true pirate, having been convicted of a crime." And then he posted a screenshot here of a URL, which interestingly enough has 666 in it. And if you go to that, you see the docket here for Styx's case, and it has a lot of mundane details on here. There aren't really there isn't really much to go through here, but we see at the end here on June 18th, 2025, today, defendant Tarl E. Warick appeared represented by Jared Bradley. Defendant elected trial by judge. Eva Ripel represented the state, so on and so forth. And it goes on to say the judge's verdict for defendant Tarl E. Warick, domestic abuse battery. Defendant found guilty by judge. This defendant was issued and signed a protective order. Defendant to appear via Zoom for sentencing. Victim to give impact statement via Zoom. Sentencing set for July 15th, 2025. So pretty interesting here. Now, Styx posted a video after this for a few minutes discussing in a little bit of detail about what actually happened. Obviously, he doesn't agree with the outcome of the case here, but apparently he says he was in New Orleans in a hotel room with his girlfriend, and apparently some incident occurred where he allegedly found her texting another dude. He found out she was cheating on him, and he got mad and claims that he threw her cell phone and it ended up hitting her in the side, he said. And apparently that's what happened. There was no strangulation or punches or kicks or anything like that, at least according to Styx, and I'll take him at his word at this case. Now, a little word to advice for Styx here. He does mention in the video that he was inebriated and that he had a gun on him. So probably not the best look to be admitting that publicly, okay? Because, okay, now a hotel room is technically considered to be private property, but was that always the case? Did they go outside the hotel room? Did they go out in public? Did they go in the lobby? He could be opening himself up to some other potential legal issues with that, but that's besides the case. So I did look up here for a first-time offender in Louisiana, what would be the possible sentence or outcome for our guy Styx here, right? So it says here he would face a fine between $300 and $1,000 and imprisonment between 30 days to 6 months with at least 48 hours served without the benefit of parole, probation, or suspension of sentence. So he's going to be doing at least 48 hours in jail after he's sentenced, which isn't going to happen for another month. Now, it does say the remainder of the sentence can be suspended if the offender is placed on probation with one of the following: serve a minimum of 4 days in jail and complete a court-monitored domestic abuse intervention program, typically 26 in-person sessions over 26 weeks, perform 8 8-hour days of court-approved community service, and complete the intervention program. Okay, so pretty mild stuff here. I mean, obviously, nobody wants to pay a fine. Nobody wants to do any time in jail or have to do any type of domestic abuse intervention program. But it's I guess in the long term, it's not a big deal. But there's a caveat to that here, because it also says that there's a firearm restriction. It says the offender cannot own or possess a firearm for the duration of the sentence, with an additional 10-year firearm prohibition after the sentence is completed under state law. Federal law may impose a lifetime ban on firearm possession for misdemeanor domestic abuse convictions. So now I don't know if that specifically applies to Styx's case here, but that would not be a good thing. That would not be a good situation to be in. Now, it's interesting here. I looked up Eva Ripel, who represented the state in this case, and she's here on LinkedIn, and you can see her here. She's a pretty young person here, and she has been with the Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office for less than a year, and she previously worked for something called the Gender Justice Clinic at Washington College of Law. So, a big time leftist here, and she took down Styx. Now, again, we don't have the evidence. We don't have the testimony. So, maybe this was an open and shut case. I mean, he was found guilty. It's New Orleans, so who the hell knows? He probably didn't have much of a chance to begin with. But in any case, I covered the initial arrest and the initial incident when this first happened last year. So we kind of have at least most of the resolution here. I guess we'll find out in a little less than a month what his actual sentence is. So what do you all think? I mean, do you think Styx is a bad guy for this, or do you think he just got railroaded by the system? And what sentence do you think he's going to get? Do you actually think he's going to get months in jail, or is he going to get a slap on the wrist? Now, being that the sentencing is going to be via Zoom, I would presume that it's not going to be a heavy-handed sentence, at least in the range of what he's potentially facing. So, in any case, that's what I think. Let me know what you all think. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.